Hello, Zuko here.
Wow, you guys showed up.
Let's hang out. Where are we at?
We are in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We are. I was going around last night and I saw the license plate for Minnesota and it said 10,000 lakes. And I looked at my car and I said, there's no way. That's not real. I was like, that's just poetic embellishing. It's like I was telling people in the line, I was like, it's like saying, I have 10,000 shoes. We say that I have 10,000. Oh, I have tons of them, 10,000 pairs of pants. I got 10,000 pairs of jeans. Minnesota is just like on one, like, we are 10,000 lakes. I'm like, really?
Who counted them?
Who, first of all, who has ever counted to 10,000? Nobody.
We have a hand over there.
No one's counted 10,000.
11,121 lakes in Minnesota.
11,100.
We were just
Who counted that? Can we get a definition for lake? I don't know.
See, we were backstage talking about learning languages, and now you just learned a new fact.
Yeah.
You learned a new fact about how many lakes are in Minnesota.
I don't know about all this Northern Water Tribe news. I mean, imagine, does everybody have their own lake? What's going on?
It's not, listen, you're not necessarily, water isn't necessarily your thing.
But we have a strong Navy. For some reason, the Fire Nation thought we would have a great Navy with wooden ships. And we live in fire. I don't know what we're thinking. We're just that arrogant. That arrogant. We will fight waterbenders in the ocean. And we have wooden ships. What are we doing?
Well, welcome to Minneapolis.
Here we are, Milo. This is Milo. The professor. If you didn't know, he's actually his other job is the professor.
And of course, sitting to my left. Don't act like you don't do it. Of course, you know him as Zuko, Jake Long, and say it with me, Rufio. Please welcome Dante Basco.
Land of 10,000 lakes.
You're the count on the plate.
I need to count. Can we get a recount? What's going on?
2004?
No one's ever counted to 10,000.
This is the hill of your time.
I think I've gotten maybe up to 100, maybe once or twice.
How are you doing this weekend? Good?
I am doing good. It's cold. It's cold, and some people say it looks really nice. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's outside. It's cold. It's different. You get Minnesota people got different. Northern Water Tribe has a whole different perspective on weather.
Anything in the positive numbers here is nice, right?
Yeah. 40's great, 10,000's better. There's no way there's 10,000. I'm done. No, I'm not gonna die.
Oh man, you've had a story career where you've been busy, but I gotta say, this past year, you have been extremely busy.
Yeah, it's been busy. It's crazy.
Even the past couple months, you just got married.
I just got married. That's crazy. It took a long time, but it happened.
Thanks to the great Delilah.
Great allowance. She pushed me. My sister was like, go get married already.
Starting a new company.
Yes, I have a matcha tea company coming out next week. Rufio Matcha.
did that come about?
I love matcha tea. No, in reality, I do love tea. I mean, I love coffee, and then we were trying to replace coffee with some tea. Me and my wife got into matcha, and then we had this great opportunity to bring this really beautiful ceremonial grade matcha to the States, and we're like, that's wonderful. And then the connection of like, oh, Zuko has a tea shop. That's cool. And then I did it. We're doing a collab. If you guys were in LA, I'd invite you all to this thing we're doing in LA. Doing a collab with a company called Phil's Bake Shop that does mochi donuts, and then we're turning their bake shop into the Jasmine Dragon. And then all the homies from the Avatar family are coming out over 2 weekends to like do some signings and some meet and greets and eat mochi donuts, Fire Nation mochi donuts, and drink Rufio tea. First day is me and Uncle Iroh, pouring tea for people.
And recently you had your directorial debut.
Yes, yeah. I wrote and directed a film called The Fabulous Filipino Brothers that, it premiered at South by Southwest Film Festival during COVID, and now it's on Hulu for people to watch. I've been an actor for like 38 years, which is older than like
It's weird because
everybody here. Yeah. When you say that, I was like, I've been an actor for 38 years. I'm like 90% of the people are younger than 38 years. And then through that, but through acting for so many decades, I've also been able to have the great fortune to be able to write films and theater and plays, and then produce plays and theater and movies, and then now direct.
So how did that come about? How did the Fabulous Filipino Brothers project come about? Which not only is it a movie, but you have a podcast with it as well. What was the inspiration behind the project to begin with?
Well, the movie, there's, for people that haven't seen it, it's like these stars me and my real brothers, Derek, Darian, and Dionisio, who are all amazing actors in their own right, and we've been live action for so long. But then I wrote this film, and I really created this project for us and wrote it with my brothers, and then it's all based on stories from my family. So it's like a, it's kind of like my big fat Greek wedding, Filipino style, but kind of meets like a version of like Pulp Fiction, but not like the violence of Pulp Fiction, but the calamity of Pulp Fiction. Because it's a movie, vignettes of a story told out of order, all surrounding a Filipino wedding.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I love it. So when you're directing, but also starring, acting in it,
It's hard.
Yeah, you're like, that performance was great. Do that again.
It's hard, but I've been acting for so long, and they're such great actors, and you're watching. It is hard to direct yourself because there's a lot going on as a director that you have to do, but I luckily have amazing brothers that are there by my side the whole way to kind of like keep an eye on what's going on with me.
You see yourself diving into that realm again?
Yeah, I have a few films that I'm connected to direct coming up, and so we'll see what kind of gets off the ground.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah, pay attention to those social medias. Yeah. For those who may not know, you're an avid reader as well as an avid movie watcher. To which, again, you're not stopping with one podcast. Then you got the Monday Cinema Club.
Monday Cinema Club, yeah, which is great. I did it with my wife before we got married. We were watching a lot of movies during COVID. It actually happened during COVID. We did this thing called Monday Cinema Club, which is kind of like a book club, but it's a movie club that we watch every week. It started because we were writing a movie together, and she's from China, and so there's a lot of movies that she did not watch because she was from another country, and a lot of movies I haven't seen from Asia, and we would be talking about these films, and we started watching these movies, and during COVID, we were like, let's just do some like IG lives, and then it became this thing that every week we'd like say, we're gonna watch this movie, and then a bunch of people would watch it with us, and we would just go live and bring people in and talk about the film. And it's been really cool to create a community through one of the things we love, which is cinema.
I absolutely love that. And you have so much going on. How do you find that time to balance, I say work life with home life, but your home life kind of does blend into that work life?
Yeah, I think ultimately we're artists. I love coming to Comic Cons because it's like our people. It's like we're creatives, whether you're doing it for a living or not. Yes. It's what we do. that's how we live our life. It's not necessarily a job. It's a lifestyle and how we gonna create your life. And so I'm looking to find a partner that kind of is on the journey with me. And so at the same time, it's not as much work. That's what we do. We watch movies. We make movies. We want to talk about it. It kind of keeps the creativity rolling. And so I see that with a lot of people here. It's like, it's not a job. It's like this is life. This is how we live.
I want to double down on that. You're talking about, hey, coming to these conventions. How has coming to conventions, something that, maybe definitely wasn't around when you first started, how has that changed your life, both professionally and personally?
Hey, it's fascinating. The con world, I was fortunate to kind of get into the con world as it became, I think it's become something in the last 10 years that it wasn't before. It's been around for a long time. San Diego Comic Con was something we've always known about, but I'd say in the last 10, 12 years, it really matured into this really, how I see it is it's a worldwide community. And that's the beautiful thing about being a part of this community and really understanding. I think a lot of people don't really understand the Comic Con world in a way. They think it's just like, oh, this is like so crazy, like people kind of dress up, or the big businesses are coming in trying to promote their projects, and I think that's wonderful. But really what it is a community of like these creatives that are worldwide, that are really the arbiters of taste of pop culture. Like that's what you guys are. That's what we are. I feel like I'm a part of the community, like all of us. And so it's really profoundly impacted my life because it really made me look at the stories we're telling in a different way. As a creative, you are telling these stories, but when you're actually engaging with the audience, like in person, online, and you're having this ongoing conversation about the things you're creating, the things that other people are creating, what's inspiring them, why it inspires them. If you start thinking about it on the artistic side, it really shapes how you're telling your future stories.
Love it. So we do have a microphone right here, so if you do have questions, please go ahead and line up. Before we get to those questions, I do have one more. Oh man, I was pushing and shoving, fighting with Kell. So I do have one more question that I want to get your take on this, and because I think it's very important for you, for your family, for your friends, for your community, and that is Asian Persuasion, a movie. Can you talk about having an all-Asian cast and what that means for Hollywood?
Yeah, it's very cool. I remember a new film called Asian Persuasion that just premiered in New York. I'm going into the Philippines next month to do a tour in Asia about it, and it's a full Asian cast. It's really fascinating because, we're for Asian Americans, I've been in the game for a long time, but as Asians in Hollywood, this is the highest profile Asians have been in Hollywood in the history of Hollywood.
Yes.
Which is crazy. I mean, the Crazy Rich Asian film is like the kind of big thing that happened. Now all these amazing things are happening, like Chung-Li, Simu doing his thing with Marvel, and so many other Asian films coming, Awkwafina, artists that are coming. And so being a part of that rise, and also my career leading up to some of these things, is very important because it's just representation. We're living in a new time, in a new world. The world has changed, and seeing how the world really looks and how it really feels, and telling the stories and having true representation is very important. And like people don't always realize, like, oh, what's representation mean? And I go, I felt it earlier, like when I did Rufio, right? Shout out to Rufio. And a lot growing up, especially that generation, I'd get stopped and they go, hey man, you were the first cool Asian I ever saw on film and television, ever, right? Like, that's crazy, that's very cool. And then they're like, so I'll see like a couple, like a mixed couple, and it'd be like an Asian guy and like a black girl or a white girl, and they'd be like, hey, and growing up, like my girl, she had a crush on Rufio. And I know for a fact that you are one of the reasons why she's dating me. And I'm like, you're welcome. But I mean, part of that is important. But then as representation goes further than that, now you have to realize that most of the stories that we've seen in Hollywood, most of the roles, myself included, that we've been able to play, since the beginning, 100 years plus, have by and large, 99% of them have been written and produced and directed by straight white men. And there's nothing, it's not wrong, there's nothing like wrong with that. It's just that it's been so heavily balanced on one side that it's not a real conversation. A real conversation is representation of other races, other sexes, other sexual genders and preferences, writing stories about themselves, and also directing those and having these stories cast in a way where we can actually have a conversation, an artistic conversation. So I think the beautiful thing in the future is not taking away white straight males. It's not that. It's just balancing the stories better, so we can have a better conversation.
We do have a lot of questions to get through. So if you have multiple questions, find your best question, your one best question, and ask that. So, hello, what's your name?
Nathan Gottschalk. I've been a huge fan of Dante Basco since American Dragon Chiin first premiere.
Thank you.
So, how often do you ever go on YouTube?
Do I ever go on YouTube? I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't posted in a while, but I need to get back to it, for sure. What's crazy, it's probably been like almost 2 years since I posted, but what's crazy is it's grown like 50% in that time. So I'm like, I need to get back to YouTube. The thing is, new platforms keep coming out, and like I'm like everyone else going, oh well, let's see what's going on TikTok, let's see what's going on Instagram, like, and so it kind of keeps moving down the field. But YouTube is still very, very prominent.
I'm asking because there's a battle video between American Dragon Chiin and Danny Phantom.
Oh, did I win or lose?
You lose.
Danny Phantom's OP, Danny Phantom's OP.
My story, that's not how you guys meet. You meet, when he has to travel to New York.
I run New York. So you have to come say hi to New York. I gotta check that out. I haven't seen that one. I did voice a death battle between between Zuko and Todoroki. And, I also lost. Those guys are really. What's going on?
Don't worry, I still love American Dragon Chiin.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Last question. How, if you were to start a film with somebody, like me, what's the right, an actual fan fiction between American Dragon Chiin and Danny Phantom, would you like to star in it?
Yeah, you never know, man. Sometimes fanfics hit me up and they catch me at the right time. And I think I did one for Homestuck. And then I did a Zutara one. Every now and then they catch me with fanfic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, dude. Dragon up!
Hello.
Hi, Jordan Stevenson from Bismarck, North Dakota. So, huge American Dragon Jake Long fan and Avatar. I grew up on both shows at the exact same time. So, with that, okay, so both shows came on at the exact same time, but obviously Jake Long's a hero and Zuko started out as a villain. So, you're doing both shows at the same time, obviously. Which character did you really feel connected to you more, like personally, like as a person, more than an actor? Yeah?
I mean, I'm Jake Long.
Actually, yeah.
I mean, I love Zuko, and people always ask if Rufio and Zuko are so popular. Like, are you more like Rufio or are you more like Zuko?
Right.
And I'm always like, I'm Jake Long.
I feel like Jake Long was more like you because, always doing like the slang, the hip hop. Exactly. And it's just, it was just like the show is. It's magical. It just felt absolutely magical.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you.
Track
Thank you
it
for
up.
a great childhood. Thank you so much again. Huge inspiration.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hey there, my name is Olivia, and I'm here on behalf of my sister Amelie. She says hello.
Hi, Emily.
She is going to love you for saying that. And my question is, what was it like working on the Avatar set?
you know, it was really cool. We talked about this yesterday when we had the whole cast of Avatar. It was going on so quickly, and it was one of those things that, while doing it, I really didn't know how special it was. It was like, first of all, Zuko was, I thought I was gonna be a villain. I was the hero on Disney. I thought I was gonna be a villain on Nickelodeon, and he had a very interesting look, you know, starting out with. And I was like, I don't know, this guy, I'm just a villain, and I'm like, I must capture the Avatar. I must capture the Avatar. I was saying that all the time. And I'm like, I remember telling Mike and Brian, like, I'm never, be honest with you, I'm never gonna capture the Avatar, right? I'm just Wile E. Coyote. Am I Wile E. Coyote? Because if I am, it's fine. It's cool.
Well, you didn't technically catch him in that you caught his friendship.
Yeah. But it's,
Zuko didn't fail.
no, he didn't fail. But it was a great show, and actually me and Mae Whitman were doing both shows at the same time. Yeah, and so we were having a great time. And then as the script started getting more intense, I really was falling in love with Zuko like everyone else when I found out how I got scarred. And I was like, wow, this guy's really deep. And then by the time book 3 came along, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to teach him Airbender. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I gotta teach him. I just, you know, I was just like the audience, kind of like going with the story, but I never, in my wildest mind, I was just talking to Jack DeSena. Like, there's no way when we were doing this like 18 years ago that we thought that we'd be talking about this still 20 years later and the impact that it's had on the world. And I think that's cool. I think if we knew what it was gonna be while we were doing it, a lot of people, you know, I'm a filmmaker, like, oh, when you're working on a project and everyone's saying like how great this project is when you're doing it, you're like, hey dude, like, don't worry about that. Like, as filmmakers, as artists, when you're doing it, like, you just gotta do it and be in it and just experience it. To say that it's gonna be great and hopefully that's gonna be great, that's like for like the critics and fans and stuff to talk about 10 years later. While we're doing it, we were just in it. And so I had no clue. It's almost cooler now to look back and see how cool it actually was.
Yes, reminds me of a quote which I just found today, which is, pros and cons of making things. Pro, thing, con, make.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jen. First of all, I wanted to thank you for talking about the representation in media piece. I came here last year when Phil Mar was here, and he had a lot of great conversations around that. And hearing you talk about a different perspective was great, especially having grown up with American Dragon Jake Long and Avatar: The Last Airbender. This question can go for both shows, but I think it probably will hit more with Avatar: The Last Airbender. Were there any moments where you or anybody in the cast was like ad-libbing, or just kind of like, there was a line that was like off the dome that like really stuck, and it's like you weren't expecting it to kind of make it into the show, but it landed really well?
Avatar, no. I mean, Zuko is, for me, I was just falling. I don't know what's going on with Zuko. I was like, this dude has some issues. So I was just rocking with it. Jack DeSena, though, was amazing. I would watch him improv. And then later on, when I did Korra, seeing PJ, I mean, I love those. They're both so funny in their own way, and so I'd love to watch them. Now, Jake Long, it was half improv. I think when I can't wait when the strike is over that we can go back and like watch some Jake Long episodes and talk about with the audience, because you guys are all grown up now, and so to talk about this really, I think, underappreciated show, but also a uniquely interesting show because they hired me, right? Because I'm Asian, and I was like, I actually did a pilot. In reality, I did a pilot for Disney that never made it to the show, on air. It was called The Chiin Family Saves the World. And it was this cool pilot written by John Ridley, who wrote 12 Years a Slave. And he's black and his wife is Asian. He wrote this Asian pilot about this. It was essentially the Fantastic Four, actually. And it was about this Asian family. Me and my sister were in high school, and we find out that we're superheroes, and we end up having to save the world. And she has like this incredible fighting ability that I end up finding out I have some like mental, we only did the pilot, so I don't know, but I had like this mental ability. I wonder if we can find it and just post it online. It was so cool. Anyway, Lauren Tom played my mom, and so the show ended up not going, and then they offered me this cartoon, which was almost American Dragon Jake Long. We didn't turn into dragons in the real life show. We just had these like superhero abilities. And then also the woman who played my mother on the TV show, Lauren Tom, played my mom on American Dragon Jake Long. However, when they casted me on the show, it was like it's a teenager in New York. And to me, I was like, that's hip hop. Like, I'm hip hop. And so I started just improvising all this hip hop in the dialogue. But what's the weird thing is, this is the early aughts, right? It's 2000 some stuff. But I'm a 90s hip hop cat. So if you listen to and you watch the show, it's all 90s vernacular hip hop, which is weird. And also the girl played Kitty, we're the same, so we would just do all this stuff, and Disney let it go. Disney let it go. Matter of fact, when I did the first press conference for it, we were with the international press, Hollywood press, and I was like, I got to the mic, and we're with the head of Disney, and we're there with like the the High School Musical kids, first year, and like Kim Possible, and then I got to the mic, and I'm like, I'm so happy Disney has a hip hop show. And the president of Disney came up after me like, I didn't know we had a hip hop show. Like, they didn't draw hip hop, nothing. It was like, it's me, we're doing hip hop. But it came by so much. By the end of the first season, the president of Disney, they were like, oh, well, then he has to rap on the song, because they're like, now it's hip hop. And then the guy came in, I forgot his name, but he was one of the executives there. And I'm like a 90s hip hop guy, but he's like an 80s hip hop dude. He's a white guy, right? And so they had the song playing, American Dragon. He's like, and I'm like, what's the rap? And we're trying to write raps. And I'm doing like some kind of Tribe Called Quest thing. And he goes, no, it should be like straight 80s. It's the J to the A to the K to the E. I'm the Mac Daddy dragging up the NYC, you heard?
Well, that's going to be hard to follow up. But I just want to say thank you for coming here, Mr. Basco. And I saw you yesterday at the Avatar panel. It was great seeing that, you and the cast being there. And I want to wish you luck with your upcoming movie. This personal question regards to, because you mentioned Hook, and that's also actually a childhood favorite of my sister's, and it's a film I enjoy watching with my family. I remember seeing even interviews of you and some of the former child stars talking about working with Robin Williams. But then I had this question in my head. I just want to ask, like, if you had a particular favorite memory of working with Robin and or with Spielberg.
So many. I mean, rest in peace, Robin Williams. First and foremost, he's just a magical guy. And I would show up to the set on my days off, because I mean, you're working with Spielberg, you're working with Robin Williams, you're working with Dustin Hoffman. I mean, these guys are, they're no less than gods. You know, they're like God tier people. I tell you guys as creatives, like, if you ever have the good fortune to be in the company of greatness, you gotta show up. Just show up. I'm literally, my days off, I'm going to the set, and I'm just sitting by the camera, day off, to just see, Robin Williams improv, who's probably, the greatest improv actor ever. You got Dustin Hoffman, who's on the Mount Rushmore of character actors in the 70s that changed Hollywood forever, became leading men, Chiin, Nicholson. And then you got, arguably one of the greatest directors of our time, of his time.
You're from to finish
Steven
recording.
Spielberg had his powers, and it's like, to be on the set to watch these guys work is like having the good fortune to be in the room and see Picasso paint a stroke, or to see Mozart conduct a symphony. Like, that's what we're talking about, right? And so I'm there and I'm watching them, and it's just amazing. I mean, after a while, like, Steven's telling me how he's directing and what lenses he's choosing and why he's moving the camera the way he is, and just interacting with Hoffman in character, because Hoffman's a method actor and he's staying as Captain Hook the whole time, but he's still talking to me and like being Captain Hook to Rufio the whole time. It's crazy. And then, with Robin, it's like, I love Dead Poet Society. Still love Dead Poet Society, yes. And yes, oh Captain, my Captain. And we would spend our mornings just talking about poetry. the crazy thing is me and my brothers are all actors, and my whole crew, we're like from the neighborhood, like we're like from like the Compton area in LA, but we're like from the hood, but we created our own Dead Poet Society. And it was an ad where we all met called 13607 1/2. And we would write poems, and we'd write rap songs, and I was telling Robin about this, and he was like, what? This is crazy. So the whole crew came to the set one day to meet him. And we took this picture, and we got him a hat that we made at Compton Indoor Swap Meet. And it was the name of our crew, 13607 1/2, and underneath it said, "Oh Captain, my Captain." And there's a picture of us all with the crew and Robin. And then, Robin passed away, but right before COVID, I ran into his daughter Zelda at a bar. We're like, oh my God, I haven't seen her since she was very young. And we were talking, and we're like, we need to get coffee, and then COVID hit. And then she texts me in the middle of COVID, and she's like, hey, I was looking through my dad's stuff, and his office cleaned some things up, and look what I found. And she sent me a picture of the hat. So, man, Robin is amazing. Rest in peace. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Dante. I'm probably Hi, Dante. I'm Nina. If you could write any episode in for Avatar, either with Aang or for Korra, what would you write?
Okay, write for them? With them?
Yeah, like just write out the episode. What would it be about?
I'd write like Zuko and Katara. Not necessarily doing anything, I would never get together with Aang, but there would be this thing that would be like, hey, remember that one time when you almost healed me? It was like we were that close. Was I just dreaming, or were you like, what were we talking about? Thank you, Luna.
Pronouns are they, them. I want to say again about the representation piece. Very nice, love that. As someone who doesn't really watch shows without representation a lot of the time, it's really cool to see someone, especially such a big actor, at least to me, say something like that. That being said, I grew up on Avatar, since I was 6 years old probably. I'm 15 now, and it's been a while, but I've rewatched the show probably 40 times. And Zuko was my favorite character since the beginning. Loved him. And he was really influential to me in my development. Do you think, as that age or up to even my age, there was someone in fiction who meant so much to you, your favorite character ever?
I don't know. I mean, I think Avatar is revolutionary in that way. Because I think prior to that, a lot of the fiction stuff that I was reading and seeing as a kid was so kind of just, zeros and ones, good and evil was just kind of bilateral. And I don't think that's the way the world is. I think that's part of the problem, the world as it is today, where we got to this place where it's we're trying to fix the world into this A, B thing, and that's not how the world really is. And so I think one of the great things about Avatar is it really is to show you the grays in between the black and white of what's going on. So yeah, it's different as far as the fictional things like that. No, I mean I read books and there's a lot of characters, but animation was not like that for me. I don't know. Avatar hits differently, and again, it's one of the things that I didn't even know when I was doing it. I was actually right when COVID kind of opened up. My first con back, I'm at New York City Comic Con, and we're signing, and the lines are long because everybody's just back to cons, and it was crazy. And so we're signing, and this one kid comes up, and I might say a kid, but he's in his mid-20s, early 20s, probably 20. And the guy's like, yeah, I grew up with you. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm glad I'm glad we all grew up together, and the show's great. He goes, no, you don't get it. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I mean, Avatar, you guys really formed our generation. I go, what? He goes, you programmed our generation. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, Avatar. Don't you know that our generation that grew up with Avatar don't you know why we're the generation that brought back protests? We brought the Black Lives Matter movement, brought back the Me Too. We're trying to get the world back in balance. That blew my mind. But no, it's a different thing. I think that's a special thing about it. Thank you.
All right, so we have a little bit over 10 minutes.
And this
So
will
we're
go.
trying
I'll try to be-
get through as many as possible.
Yeah, I'll try to get much we
Hi, my
can.
name is Casey.
Okay, so-
Obviously, one of the most famous Zuko lines ever is "That's wrong, buddy." It's often made fun of for it, but if you were told my first girlfriend turned into you, how would you respond?
There's nothing else to say but that's right. Hello.
So you reprised your role as Zuko in Korra, the last episode, The Legend of Korra. They had an implied connection that they had known each other for a long time. Did Zuko go to visit her when she was first discovered? And would they play hide and seek every time you found her? I captured the Avatar.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It is a weird thing when they go, like, they still know each other, they're all the same person, but I think there's some connection. I mean, I reprised my grandchild son, Ira the second, and so I know they played, another person played older Zuko, but, you know, in the Fire Nation, sometimes your voice, it may skip a generation. But then grandson will sound like the grandfather. I would like to think that Zuko, you know, Zuko and Aang share a friend. But I love the things also when Iroh kind of got saved in front of the Aang statue and there was the connection. I love how Mike and Ryan do that. It's really good. What's up, man? What's up, man?
Hello, my name is Link. Steven. Link with a beard. Anyways, this is kind of crazy. Yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm going to meet the Avatar panel. I just want to listen to Zuko's voice. Is there anything on Spotify? Okay, look it up. Dante Basco on Spotify. Okay, Fabulous Filipinos? You were just referencing this.
Yeah, the Fabulous
Is that
Filipinos.
song yours?
The one that I'm doing?
That's on Spotify?
Yeah, we wrote that song for the movie, for the end of the movie.
Oh my gosh, I loved the song.
Oh, thanks.
First of all, you guys all gotta listen to it. I just wanted you to know.
Did you pay this guy?
No, I didn't. Steven, that song, so we're there, the movie's over, and we're doing the credits, and we're there, and I'm with the producers, and like, we need another song. We had no more money to buy a song from another artist. And they were like, why don't you just write a new song? Because we had a band growing up. And they're like, you know, like Men in Black had that Men in Black song. It was like cheesy in the 80s, 90s film. Like, let's just write a Fabulous Filipino song. And we're like, okay. And we wrote this song. It's on Spotify.
Okay, so my question is, would you sing for us? I don't know if you have something that you sing.
Sing? I don't know about singing. I'm nervous now. I don't remember singing. I'm more of a rapper than a singer.
Yeah, rap something.
So rap.
You can rap that song.
I can do. I don't remember the lyrics of that song, but I can do a quick poem.
Oh yeah.
So here's some poems. A poem called Honor for something lost or misplaced, etched into your consciousness like a scar upon your face. This honor that you chase isn't always what you thought. Matter of fact, the fact that you always had is the very reason why you set out to prove its existence from the start. Talk Bay Phone. She moves mountains so small but so strong. Next time I go on a life-changing adventure, you're invited to come along. A poem for my friend who doesn't even bend, but he has the heart of the rest of them. And plus he always had my back. I forgot that poem. He always had my back because he's funny. And when he told me his girlfriend turned into the moon, all I could say was, that's rough, buddy.
I gotta say, I'm dressed as Link because I'm actually making a Legend of Zelda fan film with my friends. So if you ever want to check it out.
Awesome. What's it called?
It's pretty cool. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Legend of Zelda.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. Okay, check it out. Awesome.
Film Guild Productions.
Good production. Good luck. Good luck on the journey.
the next few episodes to come out on disc, and then we rushed to Target and buy it. And my dad was excited. My question is, what's your favorite scene with Zuko?
I'm actually rewatching the whole show right now for the podcast, Braving the Elements.
You don't have enough to do.
Because I don't have enough to do. It's another job. I'm a podcaster now. And we're just starting book 3. We just got through the headband. We just finished Sokka's Master. Sokka and that sword. Sokka, no Zuko in that episode at all. What's going on? But I mean, favorite episode so far. I mean, I love book 1. I love I love the Blue Spirit stuff. All Blue Spirit stuff I really love. Of course, the introduction of the Blind Bandit in book 2, phenomenal. I mean, Zuko alone is great. I love the episodes of like the storm. I love when they do Aang and Zuko's story and they mirror it and they really show us, because I think it teaches us such a big lesson that it's like sometimes the people in our lives that we think are the villains could actually be the heroes. And sometimes the heroes could be the villains, we don't know. But like, don't be too quick to like just put people in your lives forever in one place, because things could change and will change.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's all problems. So it's been a lot of really heavy, hard-hitting questions, tough to follow up. We got a little lighthearted shipping question. Everybody knows Zutara, everybody knows Jake, X, Rose.
Yes.
We found this looking for edgy Zuko music videos one day on YouTube, and now you must suffer with us. Have you ever heard of, and what are your thoughts on Jake X Ronstoppable?
I've heard of a lot of things.
I haven't heard of that. What's going on there?
Well, that's
I don't know. Is there fanfic art of that, or what? What's popping?
There was a lot surprising.
I said a lot of crazy fan over my time. People just filled my Tumblr inbox up with tons of different things. Never mind.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey Dante, my name's Paul.
What's up, Paul?
I got a question. I came to ask her guys.
Hey.
See,
You see my Uncle Ira?
you know, I'm in a rough spot. My first girlfriend turned into the moon.
That's right, Wayne Fire?
Yes, fire! Wayne Fire!
Is Wayne Fire? Oh my God, Wayne Fire made it to, I did a picture on my Instagram, this is crazy. Have you seen Jack Descendant yet? We just talked about this. Hold on 1 second. I'm confused. You guys, hold on 1 second. I'm at the panel, say hi everybody. And then who comes to visit? Wayne Fire! Wayne Fire's in the house. Is Aang in trouble? Or Lee? His name wasn't Lee, what was his name?
As soon as he gets home, he's gonna have the punishment of a lifetime.
Amazing.
My real name is Michael Island. Great to meet you, Mr. Basco. Yeah, my question is, it's a bit more of a serious question, but I've noticed that like in the Hollywood industry and the entertainment industry in general, that that industry, I imagine, comes with a lot of pressures and temptations too, working in that industry. So my question is, like, how do you, as an actor and a writer, deal with those pressures and sufferings? Because I imagine that there can be a lot of them. So.
Yeah, there's a lot. But, you know, I'm luckily, I've had like my family, we've been really close knit, my friends, and we've kind of been there. It's a great support system to have.
Yeah.
For all creatives, it's a very vulnerable thing to do, especially in Hollywood. Hollywood's a wonderful, crazy place, and I'm sure some of you in this room are going to make it out there someday. I was talking to someone one night at a party in LA, and he was saying how crazy and amazing Hollywood is. And he said some people talk trash about it, and I was like, well, this is the deal about Hollywood. You know, we all have dreams and whatnot. When you go to Hollywood at any given time, most people from Hollywood are not from Hollywood. They're from somewhere else. And they're the people that left where they're from to go chase this thing, right? That means that everyone that you meet in Hollywood, they're on a hero's journey, which is phenomenal. When you're in a room full of heroes, a city full of heroes, any given night, at any given party, anything can happen. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The problem is 99% of them are not going to achieve what they set out to achieve. And the way you deal with that can go many different ways. Doesn't even really mean you fail, but just a lot of people go through different things. And when they go back to where they're from or other places, they then trash Hollywood because they didn't achieve what they achieved. But that's how to deal with it, is having the people around you and understanding, put in perspective what you're doing. But the magic of it is understanding that we're these heroes that are on these heroic journeys. Every movie, every book we've read about these people that are trying to do no less than trying to change the world, or at least trying to change their world. And so there's something magical and something honorable in that, whether you fail or succeed, how you see it, fame, money, fortune, whatever. But it's not always about that. Go ask my Uncle Ira, it's kind of about the journey, not always about the end.
I'm so glad we were able to get up right here.
We have a little baby Abba.
Hi, I'm Ashley. This is Anna.
Hi, Anna. Hey, Ashley.
So I'm curious. I'm obviously a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Also a fan of Braving the Elements. Can you talk about that experience of dissecting a TV show that you were in? Do you have a lot of deja vu?
A lot of deja vu. It's amazing. We do, me and Janet Varney, the voice of Korra, we do Braving the Elements. It's produced by Nickelodeon. And it's actually the first time in my career that I've ever really kind of gone back to watch anything I've done in any kind of serious way. You know, I think a lot of actors, it's hard to go back. You're like on to the next thing, on to the next film. It's all about, the whole town's about not what you've done, it's all about what are you doing. And so we're constantly always looking forward. So it's cool to have a gig where it's like I get a moment to like look back and reflect on things and really go in deep and dive deep into a show that has impacted the world and has impacted me personally. But not just go in like what I remember. It's really, we get to talk to Mike and Brian, we get to talk to all the voice actors, animators, musicians. It's like we really get to go, well, what were you thinking during this part? What did you feel about this? And yeah, to me it was, when I go back, it's kind of like a dream I had. Like I remember saving the world somewhere. But it's cool to go back and like relive it and catch up with old friends and see something remarkable that we did, you know, almost 20 years ago now, and not even really understanding how remarkable it was when we were doing it, but really appreciating what it is now.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, but real quick, I know we weren't able to get to your question, so what we're going to do now is on the count of 3, I want you to yell at your question all at the same time. Okay, are you ready? All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Stream Days was cool, and I don't know what else the other things are going on, but yes, yes, no, maybe.
Thank you.